So I started as a teacher at the age of 21, and I still remember my first class and a group of students who were like just 3 to 4 years younger than me. And to look older than them, I actually wore a sari that day. And I still remember the kind of satisfaction that I got. The response was overwhelming. There were 100 students there preparing to get into one of their dream companies. So there was a lot of gratefulness, there was a lot of impact, and I could see it immediately. And so that's how it stuck. That was my first class, and I think what keeps me going even today, I teach even today, even though the title says co-founder and all of that. I'm very passionately involved in the first job that I had at Byju's, which remains one of my jobs even today. So that's how the transition has happened over the years. As any startup would be, as any person of the core team would have, there are multiple responsibilities, multiple hats that we wear. So the learning has been tremendous, and looking forward to doing some more in the coming years. When we started out, EdTech wasn't in the spotlight the way it is today, and I would say definitely post-COVID, as unfortunate as the situation is, it has put EdTech in the spotlight. And I think we're very fortunate to be in a segment of positive relevance, because today, if you look at the situation, we are able to help so many students continue learning, and especially during the lockdown, which happened the last 1 year. Speaking about EdTech and the challenges when we started up, frankly, we use technology as an enabler along the way. So we're a content-first, education-first company. We have the perfect blend of content, media, and technology to make learning interactive and engaging. We use technology as a medium to enable reach of the product that we were creating. So in 2015, when we launched the app, at that point of time, there were no learning apps as such. Just the concept of apps was very popular because the reach was tremendous. So we launched through a learning app, Byju's the Learning App, in 2015. And there wasn't any playbook, there wasn't any rule book. This wasn't a cut, copy, paste model, but we knew that we were onto something big and something good because the response was overwhelming. In the first 1.5 months, we saw 2 million students who had downloaded the app. And that was primarily because of the kind of content which was there, and the engagement rates which we have even today, where students spend close to 100 minutes per session on the app, show that the kind of content that we're giving them is very engaging. So then to hold on a student's attention onto a product like this, it's not just about digitizing. When we talk about EdTech, a lot of people mistake that it's just digitizing textbooks, for example. But EdTech is much beyond that. Technology is an enabler in education. That's how I would look at EdTech. It can either make teaching more effective and engaging. It's made me a better teacher. It can enable the reach of that teaching to different parts of the country and different parts of the world. So that's what technology does, and it solves any problem at scale. If you look at the challenges we were trying to address, it was a lack of quality, lack of access to quality education in the education sector at large, to a one-size-fits-all approach, which is learning driven by, and mostly the learning driven by the fear of exams rather than the love for learning. So these were the 3 core challenges that we were trying to solve, and technology had its intervention in each of these challenges. So there are 2 things, if you ask me, which drives me to go to work every day. One is the kind of people, and second is the kind of work that we do. So I over-index on the fact that we value our people, and our core founding team is like family. Even at the next level, we are like family, and I'm very happy to say that we hardly lose anyone. And I think that's also because education is a sector that is close to so many of us. We know that this is one way to make it big in life for most of us. And it's anyway easy to start a mission-driven company, but the real challenge is staying mission-driven. And that's possible only if you have continuity in the leadership, when the founding team truly believes in what they're doing, that they're making an impact every day. So coming to the second thing that holds me on to work every day, again, I said it's the impact that we create. Satisfaction comes in small bits and pieces. It can be small moments like students calling you from the remotest areas of the country, like a case in Gujarat, a girl calling in and saying that she's able to study, continue her learning after school with us only because of Byju's, because she cannot step out and late in the evening and go out. Or it could be a child in Kashmir who calls in and says that during troubled times we are their go-to learning companion. So moments like these are small successes, but I think when it comes together, it's when it creates a larger impact. Over the last 10 years, the goal, and if you ask me this question, say 10 years back, you ask me the question today, and you ask us the question even after 10 years, our mission remains the same. We want to impact the way children learn globally. We want to help them learn better, and we want to make them learn for life and love learning. So that would not have changed if you had asked us this question 10 years back. It won't change today, it won't change 10 years from now. So we're a very mission-driven company. While we're fixated on that, though, we're very flexible with the execution. So, and what we do is we do not try to have very, very long-term goals. In terms of the goals, the smaller goals to achieve the bigger goal. We try to break that down, and I think that's what helps you. While it is important to have lifetime goals and yearly goals and even quarterly goals, it's important to break that down into weekly goals and daily goals so that you step by step achieve what you want to achieve. So that's kind of how we've structured ourselves, and all of us. I'm not speaking for myself, I'm speaking for the entire team. We do this, and it's also very important to execute like that. Ideation to execution is very, very important. The speed between the two and the lag between the two should be very, very less. And we've managed to do that because we break down whatever we want to do into smaller steps. And then try to achieve the bigger ones. The last year shows us the importance of not overly planning way ahead into the future. If you asked somebody in 2015 to predict what would happen in 2020, nobody would have got the answer right. So the last year has been learning for all of us. For EdTech, it's been a good learning, but it was also important to address what was most needed by students at that point of time. So we did multiple launches. When schools shut down, the first thing we did is that we opened up our app for everybody so that they could download and continue learning for free. The second thing we realized is that students were missing out on the scheduled learning which happens in a classroom in school. And so we launched free live classes on our platform, and teachers, including me, were recording from home to make sure that students continued learning. We fast-tracked the launch of multiple subjects like social science and social studies and English, so that more like they could learn many, many more subjects. And finally, we also went deeper into the country by launching the app in multiple vernacular languages. So if you ask me, when the lockdown just started, we all thought it would be a big challenge because all of us had to work remotely. We've never done that as a company before. I personally never worked from home before the first 3-month maternity break I took back in 2013-2014 when my first son was born. So this is the first time I've been at home for this long. All our team went offline, rather online, and started working virtually. But I think the kind of things that we pulled up, I think the spirit and the realization that they have a huge responsibility on them, on millions of children who were currently not able to learn or could learn better, has kept them in the driver's seat and kept them going. So the teamwork and the effort was something that none of us could have ever predicted that could have happened in an online world, but it actually happened. So that's been a big change. On my horizon is how I can be better every day, how it is a competition of you versus you. The whole thing in EdTech and the kind of product that we've created has all been created on first principles. Every team that we've set up has been created on first principles. So how can we better ourselves every day is what is on our horizon. And looking into the future, we want to see ourselves creating a much bigger impact than we are today, deeper in India and also globally.